So moving on to the spectrogram portion of this presentation. So different EEG frequency waveforms really exist in the brain at all times at any given time. And Module 2, Introduction to Waveforms, gives much more information about that. So now, depending on the state of arousal, different proportions of these frequencies exist at any given time. And in general, there's a higher proportion of higher frequency waveforms during arousal and awake states, and typically more slow frequency waveforms are present in states of anesthesia. So this can be quantified and described by the use of an EEG spectrogram, which is, we have an example of one here. On the x-axis is time, y-axis is frequency, and the z-axis is the heat map, or the power, which sort of describes the amount of a particular frequency's presence at any given time, and that z-axis really kind of quantifies the amount of that frequency present in the part of the brain being recorded at that point in time. So many commercially available OR EEG monitors that we often use have spectrogram capabilities, and in them sometimes you're able to actually modify and modulate the power scale color bar. So in doing so, you can actually change the color intensity on the scale. So you can reassign different power levels to then be reassigned to different colors, which we'll see here in a minute. So in this example, these are actually two identical spectrograms. And if you look at the z-axis, the scales have changed. 20 decibels on the left and then 5 decibels on the right represent the red high power portion of the z-axis. And you can kind of tell just by modulating the scale, you really can either bring out and highlight a specific spectrogram signature or have it appear dull, depending on how you've oriented your scales. So again, just like an EEG voltage scale, it's important to think about what you're expecting to see from your spectrogram signature, what's there, and just to kind of sort of have in mind your z-axis scale and how it will give off a characteristic appearance of a spectrogram.